Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learn this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And today I just want to go into, the featured clip, and I'm going to entitle this lesson, Behold, the Day Cometh. Just going to bring out a couple of scriptures, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 4, and verse 1, and it says, For behold, the day cometh, that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all they that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall leave them neither root nor branch. And yes, that day is talking about, World War III, when those missiles are shot off, throughout the world, and primarily those missiles are going to hit mainly here in America, Yes, various parts of the world will be hit, but, only America will be left completely desolate, But those are the instruments that are going to be used to, carry out that judgment that the Lord is going to bring. There's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 1. And it says, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will rise up. Behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that raise up against me a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. And yes, again, that destroying wind is going into, when those missiles, explode, when they ignite, it's going to create a wall of fire and it's going to sweep the land, That's what those missiles are going to do, It's like and that's what they're made for, those missiles to carry out, the Lord's judgment, There's the book of Job, chapter 20, and verse 24, and it says, He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. And again, the iron weapon, and bow of steel being those ICBM missiles, That's what's going to utterly destroy America, I want to go to the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 16. And it says, And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. By these was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouth. For their power is in their mouth, and their tails, and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And yes, in verse 16 down to 19 in Revelation chapter 9, and describing how those ICBM missiles look, and what they're going to do. You know, the Apostle John pretty much described, the missiles as having, heads of lions, because once they're shot, they're going to be shot, into, some, those missiles are going to be shot into, space. They're going to leave the ozone layer, coordinate their specific target, which is America, aka Babylon the Great. Then they're going to come back down. They're going to travel back down faster than when they went up. When it says they had heads like lions, those are the warheads, because they're going to be coming back down, on fire. Because, a male lion is known for, having a mane, about his head, but that's going to be those warheads when they return back to the earth. They're going to be on fire because they're going to be traveling so fast, And then the tails like serpents, that's the rocket system propelling them, to get to Babylon, This is Slakia. This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 25, and it says, "It is drawn, and it cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall, terrors are upon him." And yes, again, that glittering sword is going into, those missiles, because they're also going to be like, like stars, because they're going to be bright as well. And a vivid illustration would be, the scene from Terminator 2 with Sarah Connor, she was pretty much burned up by a missile right before that missile hit. It was just a bright light that came down, then it was just a flash, That's that glittering sword, those warheads, the goal, it's going into, those silos, because that's what they're going to be shot out of, I'm going to go to the book of Revelation. Slakia. Book of Revelation, chapter 17. I'm going to start at verse 14. And it says, "These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords, and King of kings, and they that are with him are called, chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." Yes, it's also going into, America being destroyed, during World War III, by the ICBM missiles. It's going into those other nations that are going to destroy America. Primarily it's going to be, through Russia, but, Russia's allies, China, North Korea, just to name a couple, even, the other countries that are allies with America, they're going to turn on her, and shoot their missiles over here. This is what they mean. Or it's like, this is what this verse means when it says, these shall hate the whore, because all these nations have, drunk of the wine of the wrath for fornication. All these nations have, made deals with America or deal with America, in some form of fashion. But overall, they're going to turn on her, and they're going to shoot their missiles, and they're going to burn her and leave her desolate, Just like you. And then I'm going to go to the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 20, and it says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that had worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. And yes, that lake of fire isn't, talking about, the literal place hell, which there is no such thing, that's Greek mythology, because ultimately hell is just a grave, because that's where our bodies go, once we die, our bodies go back to the earth, but our spirit, returns to the spirit world, and we're eventually brought back, through reincarnation. But, the lake of fire is going into when America will be hit with those missiles, because this entire landmass is going to be engulfed in flames. From New York to California, this entire land is going to be on fire. That's the lake of fire, this land, once it gets hit, And I'm going to go to Revelation chapter 20 and verse 14, and it says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. Like this is the second death. And yes, that's what the Lord is going to do. He's going to judge the world on a mass scale yet again. He judged the world the first time, by way of the flood. And he only saved Noah, his sons and their wives, He only saved 8 souls, during that particular time when he brought forth that judgment, for the wickedness that was on the earth. The Lord is going to do the same thing, except he's going to, flood the earth with water again. He's going to bring fire this time, but the earth itself won't be utterly destroyed. Certain, America, Babylon the Great, has to be destroyed, and it's prophesied that she will be destroyed. But again, various parts of the world will be hit, because that's the Lord's second, as it says, the second death. That's what he's bringing, death on a mass scale yet again, because wickedness has exceedingly polluted the earth. He judged the world the first time by water. This time he's going to bring fire, and he's going to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel. Those are the only souls that are going to be saved from the destruction that is going to be brought upon the earth. So that's pretty much, all I wanted to bring out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh. Bashim Yahushai Bahashim Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till the next time I see you, Shalom.